There's so many things. This is our second week of attempting to. Oh my God, my hair looks so good right now. I just washed my hair, so she actually looks
a week and a half dirty.
Oh, but it looks gorgeous.
Thanks.
Did you like do the things today?
Put a curling iron on it.
It looks so pretty.
Trying to cover up some of these grays somehow.
She says she has gray hair. I don't believe her.
Oh, they are all up in here. Malia curled my hair last week. She was like, "We're not going to talk about these grays." I was like, "No, we're not."
Mind your business.
That is her business. That's
literally her business. Oh. Guess you can't say that to somebody who's in the industry.
Right.
Hilarious. Anywho, so yeah, for those of you watching on Instagram, Jen and I were just like, where do you look? Where do you look? Because we have these two different cameras going, which is like,
different.
It's super different.
She was like, you want to look at the other. I was like,
it's a little weird. Like, you're not wrong.
Oh.
Let's see. I wonder if it'll do better at doing it like this. Anyway, Jen, how is your week doing, friend?
The week is good. This Northern Virginia weather is super disrespectful, though.
It sure is.
Like, I think that's the reason why I'm in like a funk today, because I'm like, it basically looks like it's about to blizzard outside right now, but Saturday is going to be 71 degrees.
It is supposed to snow today. That's what everybody kept saying yesterday. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But
did you hear the second part of that?
It's supposed to be 71 degrees.
71 degrees. How does one switch out their wardrobe? How does one get dressed?
Yeah.
I'm devastated.
I went to walk out the house the other day and I was like, what? I was like, Alexa, what's the weather? And
Stupid.
then, and she was like, set a high of. Right now it's 38 degrees. Mostly cloudy. Today. Snow and rainy weather. Fantastic. This is going to be great for us. I'm very excited.
But Alexa, what's the weather on Saturday in Woodbridge, Virginia?
On Saturday, December 11th in Woodbridge, there will be showers with a high of
72 degrees. I am just angry about that.
I'm so mad.
I don't even understand.
Alexa, stop talking. Done with her.
The fact that it's December, in fact, middle of December 8th at this point, and we are having to go through this is completely tragic.
I want to flip a table. It's so disrespectful.
Especially because Jen has very specific closets. Like she has her spring, summer closet, and then your winter, fall closet. And like, how are you going to be able to dress for 72 degree weather?
I switched out half my closet because I'm like, half the week it's cold, half the week it's like warm. So
I wonder if this is having an impact on the fashion industry because you don't know how to dress, so people don't go and buy because you buy clothes based on feeling. So
yeah,
that's crazy. We've got a hey guys.
Ryan. Oh hey Ryan.
Yeah.
He's out here being a dad and all those things, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that you? The real Ryan? Oh, yeah,
Right?
he's out here being a dad. I was like, I can't read. Man, that's the other crazy thing about my eyeballs. It's like, see how my eyeballs are set up? I really need to look at getting glasses.
Glasses.
Anywho, so let's get into it.
Yeah,
you have what was your favorite delicious thing that you had?
Apple dump cake.
Did you make it?
No,
Where'd
Ron
you get
did.
it? Oh,
yeah. So my sister's lover, he he is something like a baker, and he put together this what's called an apple dump cake, which is basically like birthday cake, not really, like vanilla cake met apple pie dumped into a pan together with this like delicious crusted top, like. Ugh.
I was lucky enough to have some of that at Thanksgiving, and I was like, I usually don't like apple anything. I don't like apple pie. I don't like apple crisp. And then I tried his apple dump cake and was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, it does kind of taste like birthday cake mixed with like happiness. So
two of my favorite things.
birthday cake and happiness.
Yeah.
Also part of my favorite things. This is great.
Yeah, so that's still my favorite, but
I love it. Well, my favorite was actually a cheese. So I'm not supposed to be eating cheese, but for some reason I feel like the last week of entirety I've been eating cheese every day. So I was at a friend's house last night and she had this cranberry. It had the consistency of a goat cheese, but it was a little like lighter in taste. It was phenomenal. Anyway, so I had cheese and that was my favorite thing I had last week. Like sad state of affairs. Whatever works. Yeah, whatever floats your boat. Yeah. And your learning moment. You know, as the closer we get to the holiday season, we are doing more with our friends and family than necessarily working, which is a beautiful time of this year. And so I love your learning moment this week.
Yeah, then on the slopes, all I need is an hour and then a warm cocktail. I don't know how people ski all day long. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you just have to really love skiing to be out there for hours.
Uh-huh. I guess so. It's like I was watching a snowboarder on Instagram, like doing their training and stuff, and I'm like, this doesn't seem fun to me. Last time I went skiing was with you whenever we went up to West Virginia a couple of years ago, like pre-pandemic. And I was awful. Like I was like I made it down the bunny slopes a couple times. Then I tried to go down a bit like the one right after that, and I was like, I'm going to die.
Yikes.
Halfway down the mountain, I took off my skis and walked. Yeah. Like it was so
well, that's
bad.
what happened to me. We took the lift first up. Well, we took the lift up, and I was like, that looks a little intense to get over where I'm trying to go. So I popped them skis off. I just didn't. I felt like Bambi. Like I didn't feel like I was. It's been a few years since I put on skis. So I was like, oh God, no, I can't do this. So I popped them off, and I'm walking down the slope, and like, ski patrol, they're like, you doing okay? I'm like, oh, I'm great. Like, don't bother me. Don't stop for me, please. And then I put them back on, and I'm like, it took me a hot minute to get down the first time. But then after that, I got my legs back, And it was just like, pew, pew, pew.
Well, she's a lot better than I am, because the only leg I get back at skiing is going up to the bar and taking shots of whiskey after I made it down to the bottom. Oh, man. But if we get snow, like if we actually get some decent snow this year and we make it up to West Virginia, like I would love to try to ski. So I'll keep you updated. Pray I don't break a leg.
Lord.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my learning moment was, so I have these weird fears, right? Like there's something inside of me that says if I have to speak in front of people, I need to have a speech. Like I can't just speak off the cuff. And I was asked to go back to the Board of County Supervisors and give my opinion. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go. This doesn't serve me. I'm not doing it. And then yesterday, I was like, all right, well, I actually have 2 hours. I'll go. Don't have anything written. Don't know what I'm going to say. But whenever I got up there and I started speaking from the heart, and it was great. Like it was, because I'm so terrified that I'm going to mess up the words, or I'm not going to say the right thing, or I'm going to say something that is incorrect. But what I noticed is like everybody who was up there reading from their pieces of paper, the supervisors weren't engaged. Versus like the people who got up there and just spoke from their heart and made eye contact. Every single person made eye contact back, and they were truly listening to what you had to say. So it was a learning moment of you don't have to be perfect, and if you're just speaking from the heart. I even like whenever I wanted to say something, I knew that like I typically get flustered, but I just stopped and I breathed, and like I let myself think and come up with the right word, and then I said it again. I was like, okay, so maybe I need to stop focusing so hard on being perfect, and then just be genuine and authentic in everything that you do, and it will turn out fine. So that was my
shocker.
I know, shocker. So it felt really good to be vulnerable in front of a room of county supervisors, but it felt really good to say my piece. So
Fine.
Yeah.
These psychos there threatening the world again?
Oh, yeah. Same lady, actually. This time she was wearing a different shirt. She wasn't as passionate this time. But I did learn, actually, this is another learning moment. I'll go for my second one that I completely forgot about. I didn't know that the western side of the county is getting rocked with data centers right now. So, like, out in Haymarket and stuff, there was up for public comment time, and there was, I think, probably like a little over 20 of us in person, and 10 of them were in there talking about all these data centers. And like, you've got farmers out there who are bringing like posters of their land, of their gravel roads, saying, this is my land, this is my fence to my home. You're putting a data center over there. Like, you're putting a data center in between 3 farms. What are you doing? This is zoned rural residential. How is it that these owners are trying to sell to these major like conglomerations to be able to put these data centers out there? So it was eye-opening, because we don't pay attention to those kind of things, because frankly, we don't sell a lot of rural residential. That's not our target demographic. But to understand that these they're getting rocked by this. Like, you've got goats, chickens, and cows next door, and like now you've got a 30,000 square foot warehouse with data stuff and fans and taking electricity and all that. So I'll be curious. I know that they were voting last night, so I'm going to look that up today to see what they ended up doing. But there was one woman who went before me who said that, like, no matter where you ride in the county, You know, she's like, if I leave my house and I just get to the interstate, I see 4 data centers. So we knew that this was happening out in Loudoun County. I mean, you see them everywhere. But I didn't know that this was happening out in the Haymarket and Gainesville area. So it's just...
They bump up right to each other, basically.
So, I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But,
Out west.
my heart goes out to those people. So...
I hope their chickens and goats and cows don't start having extra toes and tails and
all sorts of stuff. Because, yeah, for sure. Poor babies. Poor little cows. This looks as we have one.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Will says more like apple dumb cake because it was stupid good.
So dumb.
It's amazing.
So dumb.
Yeah, but what was your learning moment? Your other learning moment?
Oh, what is this? Even when an agent says so. So I had a scheduled showing last Friday. Came on the market Wednesday. Talked to my client about it Thursday. Talked to the agent. Agent said the seller wanted to hold offers, wanted to do the open, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, great, we'll go on Friday. Yeah, 30 minutes before our showing was canceled because they wanted a contract. I was like, you liar! You straight lied to me! But seller had a change of heart. They didn't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
So they just took it. So learning moment. If you can go see the house, go see the house.
No kidding.
Contrary to what the agent tells you.
I'm fairly certain that has happened to Will a couple of times this year too. It's like he said once a bunch of times he's over in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the good news is my clients, they're very early in the process and they weren't ready to compete anyway. So it literally was us going to just start the process, right? And start evaluating and working on the filter and funneling things down. So none of us were really heartbroken by it, right? But it was just kind of like, well, dang.
Really? Why you gotta do me like that?
You were looking forward to this.
Right.
But, yeah, so that was it.
Yeah. What are you seeing in the market out there? This is a great segue into this, as far as like what's actually going on.
Sellers are over it. No. Well, I've got a few folks that have been on the fence about selling or renting, and they're going the route of deciding to hold on to their property and rent it, and aren't chasing, the market that it was 3 months ago, or even what the market is now in certain areas. So yeah, you've got tenants. Apparently, I'm gonna have a handful of rental listings to put your tenants in.
Oh, love that. Yeah, I do love that. I will tell you that this is the strangest shift in when Bethany's saying, hi, lovely ladies. Hi, Bethany.
Hi, Bethany. Oh my God, Bethany's cookie party looked phenomenal. Did you see her
No, I
post
did
that?
not.
I don't want to talk about it. Bethany.
Cookie
Table
party.
of cookies. Anyway,
Oh.
we're in the team.
Jennifer loves cookies.
I don't want to talk about it.
Things are very different right now in this market. At least that's what I'm seeing. Is we've got a condo that's been sitting on for a while. I put
42 days. 40 County.
42 days, and the house is beautiful. Whenever I tell you, like, they did the bathrooms are beautiful, the kitchen is beautiful, the location is great, and it would, by all intents and purposes, be priced appropriately. Still sitting. In fact, I think you guys did a price correction on no price correction. Okay.
No. Because it's priced right, and
Right.
like we had the conversation. They're like, if we dropped it X amount, like, would you write an offer? I'm like, no, because what, like, on a monthly mortgage, like, what is that? You know what I mean? So it's not the price.
It's not the price. It's just it's in our community, right? So it's in Belmont Bay, which is where we have our little office and where we live and all these things. Whereas like these units were moving so fast. They were going off. Yeah, they were going off market. It was 60 days ago. And it depends. Like, there are still some areas in the neighborhood, if people price aggressively and price super low, they'll be snapped up in a second because people see the value there. You're doing the rest of the neighborhood a disservice, but at least you get your coins and you get to get out. But I guess it depends on, where you are and what you need. I get that. But the weird thing is it's not just in Belmont that we're seeing this shift of things becoming flat. I also had one that came up in Falls Church, and we had a full price offer within 4 hours of being on the market, but my seller really wanted to go have the open house because we came in on a Friday and he wanted to review on Monday. And so as soon as we told, because the stipulation to the offer was you have to accept it before the open house.
Oh.
And so we went back and I told him that, and he said, no, I want to wait because there's always been multiple offers on everything in this community. Well, guess what happened? They pulled their offer back, and we didn't get any more offers. And so now we've been sitting on the market for 2 weeks, and we've had a couple of showings and some great feedback, but people are so much slower. Like there's one person who is like actively, like, she flew in from another state, and she's viewed the house 3 times. They went over there with somebody this morning to take a look at it before she flies out, and she's like 90% sure she's there, but she's like, there's no sense of urgency anymore. So it's a completely different market than what we were in. And I don't know what happened, because 2 months ago, whenever he purchased a house in the same neighborhood, my seller, whenever he purchased a house in the same neighborhood, within 24 hours, they had multiple offers on his house. He ended up having to pay $45,000 over what they initially listed that house as. I don't think it was quite 45. I think it was 35. But here we are with another really lovely unit. He's taking great care of it. It's one of the only 2 beds, 2 full baths with a private patio with a full privacy fence in the entire complex. But I don't know. It's like, it's not our marketing. The marketing is beautiful. It's priced appropriately according to comps, and we haven't heard anything negative about it. But it's like the number of people aren't coming out.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm seeing on ours too. It's just
yeah,
traffic isn't there.
yeah, traffic isn't there. So statistically, it takes 12 people to make an offer, and then traditionally our fall market and our winter market has, as long as the weather is mild, and obviously we already talked about the weather. The weather is mild. We usually have pretty good turnout during this. We've never had issues selling. We certainly haven't seen these kind of days on market for this style of unit. So and that the original person who came back, she had the audacity to come back with a second offer after the open, $20,000 less than what she originally offered.
She was like, "Screw you!"
Yeah, and it was like,
Wow.
no, like, this is
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had an off-market showing on another one that we have that's going to be coming soon in a little bit, and the agent called me this morning and was like, hey, so we want to talk about price. I'm like, we haven't even gone coming soon yet. We're not talking about anything. Like, if your client is not willing, we haven't even began public marketing on this thing yet. There's no way. So anyway,
I wonder if it's because, like, so this year, right, we're actually with family, we're with friends. I wonder if people are just happy to be in their place in this moment and, like, not be on this hunt for a home.
maybe, yeah.
I'm trying to find reasons / excuses.
Because it doesn't
That's
make it.
the
I
only
mean,
thing I
we've
can
been
think
doing.
of. Like, people are traveling more, people are gathering.
Yep. In
Maybe
20,
they just want to hold tight through the holidays.
we've been licensed since 2015, and every single year you could almost predict how it would go, your days on market and everything else. Right now, it's been about how long? You 60 days?
43.
No, not your days on market, but like since
market
this weird
shift. Yeah,
market shift
60.
has happened about 60 days ago. Like, our November was the best month that we've had. We had 12 closings in the month of November, which was fantastic. But that means it was 30 days prior to that, whenever everything was still booming, and it's just like screech, dead halt. It's very interesting.
Yeah, Andrew thinks the holidays too. I think so.
Yeah, it's just the holidays have never been playing that big of a factor in the last 6 years as far as.
Not this intense.
Yeah, not this intense.
Yeah.
So that would be my market update as far as, like, the things that we see in our target areas. Like, and obviously things can be different. You can be selling in parts of Arlington and it's still just as hot. You could be selling in up and coming areas and it's priced just as hot, but it's just like out here in, like, the southern parts of Fairfax County and northern parts of Prince William County, it's different. So I think it's all relative, I suppose, to what you're used to.
Yeah.
Anywho, so you got a 94-year-old client?
Yeah, Miss Clara. We lost Miss Clara. We sold her Kingstown condo 2 years back.
I remember Miss
Yeah.
Clara. Oh.
Yeah, she's a gem. Apparently, the picture of her and I was on her dresser every morning when she woke up.
Oh.
So I went and spent some time with her family on Saturday, and that was lovely because, I sold her niece's Fredericksburg townhouse too. So it was like all the siblings were, oh, Jennifer, she's this, she's that, she's this, she's that. I'm like, okay, great. This is about you guys and Miss Clara. Like, thank you, but, like, let's focus on Miss Clara.
I love it.
So that was nice on Saturday, though, just to go and mingle with them a bit. Of course, I go into my mask, and they're like, oh, you're finding your second off. I was like, I haven't had my booster And they're like, but you had 2 rounds. I was like, yeah. And they're like, just a second. I was like, okay. I mean, that's another thing too. Like, how are people? There's so many people maskless these days,
Oh, yeah.
but then there's this. I don't even know how to say the thread that's out now. Something with a. No, I don't know. Maybe there's like a C and a V in it. I'm special needs right now. I should know what this is, but I don't know. So yeah, so that was that. But then also, so while we're losing the elderly, we're also having clients who are gaining babies and puppies and all these things, and it made me realize we need baby and dog swag.
We do need baby and dog
We need
swag.
onesies
I've talked to
and dog tees.
Good morning, Janice. She says good morning. An omnicorn, an omnicron. What is she?
There it is.
What is that?
The new brand, the new COVID thread or whatever.
Oh,
Strand.
yeah. Somebody told me about that, like Omni. Oh, it was me and Q. We were talking about it the other day, and she's like, "Yeah, the Omni strain." I'm like, I got my flu shot. Like, I got my regular flu shot this year, which is the first time since I got out of the military that I got that. But I got to go get my booster. I have it because it's now been over 6 months since we've had it, so I do need to go and get that. Yeah, you just can't keep up, man. It just keeps mutating so fast.
Hi from Canada.
Hi from Canada.
Who's in Canada?
Hi. Oh, she's a friend. She's one of my tribe members. So yeah,
Sweet bitch. Well,
yeah. She's a KW agent in Toronto, I believe. I believe so. Let's see here. What? Always get a flu. Already have my booster. Good for you, girl.
I couldn't tell you when I've ever got a flu shot. Maybe as a baby. I don't know.
Whenever I was in the military, it was a requirement. You had to you have to get your flu shot every year. It's part of you being able to be like worldwide qualified to be deployable. So but as soon as I got out, I was like, I had never got a flu shot when I was a kid. I only got it for the 8 years that I was in. So I just never got it again. But whenever I was at my primary cares the other day, she was just like, "Do you want it?" I was like, "Did you get it?" And she's like, "Duh."
She's like,
Fine, give it to me.
shoot me up.
Oh man. So client story for me, right? One of my longest, so I have a client who has been my longest client and I've probably sold the most houses for. She's always joking. She's like, "I've made you so much money. It's absurd." And I was like, "Well, it's true because we sell their houses and then they buy this beautiful house and then she sells that and then she bought a new one and she doesn't like the new one that she bought, so now she wants to come back to Virginia." And so we are working on a a potential acquisition right now, and so I have stepped out of the selling role at this moment. So Will is handling this for me at this time, and they found a perfect house. I say all of this to say Willa has been out with her numerous times over the last month, and they found the perfect house, and they put in an offer on this perfect house, and this house has been sitting on the market for 70 plus days. Will, how many days?
Total 78.
Total 78 days.
They were under contract and just came back on the market.
So they were under contract. So they were on for a total of 78 days. They were under contract, and then something fell out, and then they came back. So she puts in a full price offer, exactly the terms that they want. And then the seller comes back, and by the way, her file is also fully underwritten. Like there is no way that she cannot close on this house. Mm-hmm. And the sellers come back and say, "We're not taking it because you're VA." And we're like, "What do you mean?" Like, it's completely underwritten. She is fully financially qualified. This is a straight, perfect situation for everyone. But the seller, there's 2 sellers. One is like, "Yeah, sure." The other one is absolutely will not under any circumstance take any government backed loan at all. So I'm like, we called our broker yesterday to figure out is this actually legal? But because they didn't advertise it on the MLS, that they weren't accepting VA financing because there's nothing wrong with this house. You can easily accept it. So to me, that screams discrimination.
I was like, how is that not?
Yeah, to me, it screams discrimination. However, because they didn't advertise it in the MLS as accepting that financing, that they were only accepting conventional, that's the loophole. So even though
acceptable
legally,
financing, only conventional is what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Even though the only reason why is because they don't want any government-backed loans, because for some reason they really do believe with all of their heart that conventional is the best way to go. Even though you have a fully approved, fully financially qualified, incredible, everything you asked for right on your table, and they said no. So
100% financing, if she went to conventional, she would have to do 5% down plus closing costs, which is a
I don't know if you
$25,000 swing.
Yeah. So by them, what he just said is by her moving to conventional, she has to actually she has to put $25,000 down, and her payment would be more by doing that because the VA rates are so much significantly lower than the conventional rates. So you're doing yourself like these sellers are doing themselves a disservice. But it gets a little bit different because English is not their first language, so they're working through a translator, and the translator is a child, it's their son, and so perhaps he is not able to correctly articulate this because it's not his job. He's not able to correctly articulate the terms of this deal, and that could be part of this. But anyway, that was my really disappointing because I've never we've sold over 250 homes at this point between the five of us, and I've never had this happen to me.
That's crazy.
I don't know if you've ever had this happen to you, but here we are.
I mean, I've had sellers be less, enticed by a government-backed loan,
but just straight
not
up
flat
say,
out be like,
nope.
no.
Yeah. And Will had talked to the agent. The agent he was a prior Long and Foster agent. He's been around the block. He has a personal relationship with our lender. Like literally, this thing had the perfect little bow and pack. And he really thought that he would be able to get it worked out and pushed through. But
Sellers also don't have a mortgage, so there's
yeah,
really
that's
no
also
risk.
it too. So
they're
this particular house is paid off. So there's no mortgage on it. So they literally have no sense of urgency.
No.
So
I'm just paying a little bit in taxes
Yeah.
each year. That's it.
yeah, it's true.
Man.
So disappointing for everyone, but at the same time, our client is also a very happy and upbeat person. So she was like, "It's a blessing in disguise. It wasn't meant to be, and we'll just go to the next one." So she wasn't too terribly devastated over it, but I'm disappointed because to me, this screams not fair. Like, what do you mean you're not accepting government-backed loans? What do you mean you're not looking, because that's discrimination to veterans.
There have got to be some sort of changes in the coming future, like maybe July 1 of 2022, we're going to see some adjustments to those discrimination laws.
For sure, because like for Virginia, we no longer allowed to. We never did, but you're not allowed to discriminate based on source of income. So that means you're not a perfect example would be housing vouchers. So if somebody's in the housing voucher program, you can't say flat out, we're not accepting housing voucher programs. There's loopholes around that, but based on the fact that they're on a housing voucher income, because you can't discriminate based on source of income. Now, you can not enroll in the program, and then you can't do it, and you can deny based on other things, but just based on the fact that they are on the housing voucher program, that's no longer ability. Or if you were a stripper or something, and would be another one. It's or some other.
Honey, them dollars are dollars.
Dollars are dollars. But if you are a stripper and you are making $300,000 a year and you're paying taxes on that $300,000 a year, it is nobody's concern as to how how you make your money.
dollars.
Exactly. So that's been in Maryland and DC for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Betsy says that's crazy. It is crazy. It's absolutely crazy and very disheartening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see some changes with that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Angie, if you're listening, we do need dog swag and baby swag, because it's a coalition that has those cute little onesies for. I think so. I think
other people's. I'm the worst agent in all the land as far as watching and supporting other agents. I don't know people's names. I don't know what they're doing. If it ain't making me dollars and helping me and my clients,
I'm not doing it. I've seen I'm pretty sure it's you guys' coalition, and you have the cute little black onesie with the coalition logo on it, so we might have to copy you on that one because it's very cute and that would be adorable. So, Ange, let's talk about that. And dog swag. I did have her price dog toys, branded dog toys, because I think that would be fun. Let's see, waiting on samples for dog swag, looking into baby swag. Perfect! Love it for us. Anywho, I think that's about it for this Happy Wednesday. So thank you guys. I think I mostly looked at Instagram, so sorry Facebook if I wasn't looking at you. Because we were trying. In fact, I wonder, does it look like we're looking at both now? Perhaps.
I don't know.
Yeah, all right, not too bad. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful, it's beautiful now. It's about to be rainy and gross, or snowy and gross. But thank you for joining us on this fabulous day, and we love you. And if you need to buy or sell any real estate, we got you. Give us a call. Bye. Toots. How do I get out of here? Let's see here. Okay, end video, and then Instagram. Okay, yes.
Done.
All right.
Glorious.
Yeah, that wasn't nearly as bad. I tried to do this last week on the iPad, putting it in that thing. It was trash. So that wasn't nearly as bad.
Trash. Oh. Duke of shit. You actually really. I heard it making noise when I first got here. Or was that?